I was pretty keen to smash this one out, but I was a bit disappointed by the end. After building the Supernova Sturm first, I was curious about the real one, and ultimately my thoughts are this. The Supernova variant's biggest plus is the fact that the grippy weapons attach to the back-mounted unit, and it looks better for personal reasons, I feel, along with the minor additional posable feat sections, such as the toes, while its worst attribute is the color in my opinion. It also has a million little nubs that you must trim from the pieces before building, and that's not negotiable. The Kotobukiya one, however, has the biggest plus being it's a really nice build that fits well, but loses out for quite a few reasons. Immediately, the red plastic had that cheap or weak feeling about it, and I gotta say, a few of the connection stalks snapped with barely any pressure on them, making me immediately think about what folks had to say on the Leon Blade Liger, which is also red. It also has to be noted that the Kotobukiya variant is extremely ankle weak. I'm not sure if the repack Sturm fixes this one, or even the reproduction Leon has either, but I have the reproduction Leon, and I'm fingers crossed that it's not as bad as the original, so I'm kind of sus on this one now. Along with the plastic issues, the kit definitely requires glue in quite a few spots I feel, simply due to the loose-fitting nature of them, which is a shame, with all of these problems giving just how pricey this boyo is. With all that said, it's still one really cool looking Zoid and takes quite a while to build, so for most folks it'll keep you busy for a very satisfying amount of time, and I didn't feel like it got boring or dragged. The movement and posing is quite excellent, which I've had a bit of a muck around with, and sadly, a lot of the ideas for posing aren't sustainable due to the front heavy nature of the Zoid. And pairing it with its weak ankles, it's adamant to nosedive as much as possible. Images and such at the end will show you this, but if you like detailing, there's an absolutely massive amount you can do with the post build. I kept mine pretty basic, as I do with a lot of them, and maybe I'll come back to it later if I'm inspired to do so. For now, the previously mentioned cost. At the time of this video going up, it's about $200 Australian. Yep, that's the price you're going to be paying unless you can find an eBay coupon or an Amazon deal. Perhaps a trip to Hobby Search, but, well, the postage is going to add up again anyway. Realistically, being a first print of the Sturm, I'm hesitant to say it's worth that much. If in time this plastic does degrade faster and it's much like the original Leon, I wouldn't say pick it up. In fact, if the repack fixes these issues, then perhaps that's the route you want to go. But given I don't have my hands on a repack to compare with, I'd hold off and honestly, I'd say go with the Supernova kit. They build almost identically, save for the weapon differences and the nubs on the pieces that I mentioned at the start. And you could land the Supernova for about 150 Australian dollars landed on AliExpress and such, which definitely has the upper hand here. And I'd say that's pretty much all of the information wrapped up, so despite all of its flaws, it's still really cool, just not worth the big money that it's asking for. Enjoy the photo shoot for now, featuring the Supernova custom that I did, because I just simply wanted to compare the two, especially when it came to the ankle joints, to see if they were very different. And even with the dust bath having just been had on the Supernova, which is why it's all wet and slippery, you'd think that being dry, the Kotobukiya one had a clear advantage for posing, and well, that's not the case. Anyhow, until the next one, take care.
You stand up. Do the tail thing. Oh my Christ. You are way too flimsy.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody.